Hey guys, welcome. Let's have some conversation, please, shall we, about Mercury retrograde, which begins on the 29th of May and ends on the 22nd of June, 2021. So let's talk about first and foremost what a retrograde is. Planets never move backwards. If you read an article that says they do, please just automatically click out and never go back again. From our geocentric perspective, planets can appear to stand still in space and appear that they are moving backward, but it's simply from our perspective. No planet ever moves backwards in its orbit. So let's talk about what cosmically and energetically a retrograde means. Cosmically and energetically, retrograde is a time when we are allowed a little bit of energetic breathing room. Alrighty then. We get to take some time, right, to take the opportunity to reassess, re-examine, reevaluate, revise, revisit, right, the things that we have been doing in our lives. And the opportunity is, oh, look at what's happening in this space where you're not being asked to move forward. Just take a moment, right? Take a moment and be still and observe. And then you get the opportunity to realign, to establish, to reincorporate, to reorient, to restructure, to reconfigure anything in your life that needs attendance, right? So with Mercury is the planet of communication. Mercury is about how we express our ideas, how we get our thoughts across, whether that is through speaking or writing or, interpretive dance. It doesn't really matter. Here's the deal. This Mercury retrograde is in Gemini, which rules Mercury, or is ruled by Mercury. How about? And the thing about Gemini is that Gemini is the first air sign. And as such, Gemini energy is witness to all the cosmic ideas, all possibility, every potential, right? Limitless option. And as such, sometimes Gemini gets a little overburdened, right? They get a little caught up in analysis paralysis, right? But the key is that Gemini has the, all right, well, we'll take it, but I don't like that. No, I don't like it. I didn't see it. It was just, I had to dig it out. Anyway, so Gemini is quick-witted, right? Witty. It's very dynamic. It's usually excellent at communication. It is, like I said, ruled by Mercury. It is the natural home of communications, of that pure, unencumbered expression of ideas. The key sometimes is, though, that they get bogged down lost in their imagination, right? And the other thing is, right now, Jupiter being in Pisces, right, we have all of this big energy, there we go, in our unconscious, that is really creating a lot of excitement and inexpressibility, right? So when Mercury is retrograde, the area that Mercury is in is challenged. This happens to be a Mercury retrograde at 24 degrees. It starts at 24 Gemini. It moves back to 16. And so during that time, there's a lot going on. So let's consider what's happening when this retrograde begins. Wow, we've got such disaster today. Okie dokie then. So anyway, Mercury is conjunct Venus, right? They're at 24 and 25 when Mercury goes retrograde. So that is about communications and ideas, right? Getting your point across. And then Venus is about the sensory experience of 3D, right? So as we're talking about those things in Gemini, it is very much, what story are you telling, right? And so Mercury and Venus are squaring, which is challenged by Neptune and Pisces right now. Okay, so this is about our subconscious, our intuition. And they're out of sync, right? They are in conjunct Pluto and the moon, which are conjunct at 26 degrees Capricorn, right? So this is about transformation of your feelings, right? So that's a really big deal. The other thing is that Saturn, at the time of this Mercury retrograde, right, is also retrograde himself. Saturn about boundaries, limitations, how you structure your life, is trining a nice little conjunction of the Sun and the North Node, right? So that's about harmonious, harmonious flow between your own limitations and boundaries and your will and your destiny, right? And in Gemini, it's about possibilities, every possibility, right? So that Saturn is also coming back into exact square with Uranus, which is asking us to be open to change, to shift. So there's a whole lot of ways where we need to be exacting and concise in our feelings, in our experience, right? So that we can transform our lives within our daily structures, so that we can really step in to all of the new ways we would like to create our will, our destiny, our future. Now, there are some things that happen during this Mercury retrograde, right? So Venus is going to move into Cancer. So that's going to ask us to really step into our feelings when it comes to what feels like home, like family, right? How do we sensorily experience that state of home? Also, Mercury is squaring Neptune. This is really going to be a pervasive energy. We're going to talk about this. So it's going to kind of extend this feeling of being tongue-tied, or depending on where these are in your chart, it could add a real knack and ability to kind of speak from the depths, which could be quite beautiful, honestly. And then on the 11th, right, we have a lot. Nope, let's stop. The 10th, we have a Gemini New Moon at 19 Gemini. Mercury will be sitting at 20. So Mercury will be conjuncting this next new moon. And y'all, new moon energy has been just killing it lately. So this is really going to be about being open to your imagination, right? What you can imagine, you can create. And so it's going to be a really powerful new moon. And then there's just a whole lot more. The Sun is going to conjunct Mercury after this, while the moon is in opposition to Pluto. So this is going to be a real abracadabra moment, Amy Chance, where we have to be super mindful of what we're calling into clarity, right? What we're creating for ourselves is going to have to be usable. And then Venus has a lot of busy time in the middle of June, and then that Saturn square Uranus perfects again on the 14th, I think. Really, again, giving us that opportunity to pull in that square energy. And then on the 20th, right before the summer solstice, we have a gorgeous, gorgeous grand water trine with the Sun, the Moon, and Jupiter. That's going to be really interesting. The Sun will be at 29 degrees Gemini. And then we move into Cancer season, and Venus trines Neptune right at the end, right on the 21st. Just kind of calling in some different octaves of higher and real love energy. giving you an opportunity to really do a big healing as Mercury goes direct on the 22nd. So it's going to be a really interesting Mercury retrograde, you guys. So let's talk here. We got the Six of Wands, we have the Ten of Swords. So this is victory, but at what cost? Again, as we move into Mercury retrograde, mind your P's and Q's, dot your I's, cross your T's, and know where you're going. Know what you're releasing, and know that sometimes by releasing, that's how you actually win, right? We've got Mercury conjunct Venus, in conjunct the Moon and Pluto. So we might be winning. There's going to be a cost, or the things that you're leaving behind are the victory, right? Sometimes there's nowhere to go but up. So take the advantage, take the opportunity to be in that release with that Moon conjunct Pluto as it's in conjunct. It might shine a little bit of light, right? We just had that full moon. It might shine some unexpected light on what needs to be released, allowing you to step in to that victory. So pay attention, pay attention. We've got the King of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups, right? King of Pentacles really being about mastering that idea of resourcedness, right? And again, as we're asked to stop and recalibrate, this gives us options, right? Seven of Cups is about options, ways to do things. It can be about illusions, you know, if you want to really take it as that square Neptune, you can, but remember that that too is just an opportunity to really dive into the different ways that you're already resourced, and not to be afraid of that, right? As that Saturn-Uranus square comes back into perfection, we still have ways to shape your destiny, right? With that Sun and North Node conjunction. Again, asking you, who do you want to be? How are you going to assert your will into this situation? How are you going to create your destiny? Guess what? You have the power to do it. Are you going to be mindful? Be mindful of what you're doing. We've got the Seven of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. So Seven of Wands is, it's about kind of being a little bit defensive. It's about having to defend what you have won. Four of Pentacles being about how you're holding on to things, right? So this is to not get caught up in the opportunity that you may have lost, or the things that you had to get released in order to claim that victory. Don't look backwards, right? Even in retrograde season, as you're evaluating, don't look backwards. Just evaluate where you are now, and don't hold on to anything while you're there, right? You're being called to release. Well, my goodness, go right ahead and do it. And if that wasn't enough confirmation, we've got the Four of Wands in the world. The Four of Wands, we know, is the card of divine partnership. It's that 1111 card. It's that card of perfect balance, right? It's the card that reminds us that we can have it all. It's a fire sign card. And so while there's not a ton of fire rolling around right now, you are the fire in your own chart, right? Because you are that, that sun energy. And contemplate, as the sun is conjunct your north node, the north node of destiny, right? What you choose to create, how you choose to create it, and why, your motivation, right? Those wants, needs, and desires are really going to shape what you end up creating and what you are calling into yourself, and how that's going to apply to your future. You're creating your future with every one of those decisions. So if you are pulling in terms of what you're reorganizing, what you're willing to remove, what you're willing to reintroduce, and how you're willing to resurrect yourself, honestly, you can really witness those cycles that are sometimes available only in retrograde season, right? We have to give up the old in order to witness the victory of the new. And so, you know, you have the opportunity to claim everything wonderful and beautiful, to claim your true heart's desire, just by recognizing the cycles and, again, not getting stuck, not holding on, not backsliding, as the case may be. And then, I mean, come on. We've got the Fool, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. The Fool is, you know, that card of faith. We talk about it all the time. What do you really need? What do you want and need in this life? Well, here's what you need. What's on your back, right? What do you really need? Faith. And the Fool is that card of faith. It's asking you to trust the universe, to trust the cycle, to not grab onto a lot of stuff that's going to weigh you down, right? All you really need is the belief that what you require will be provided for you. And the Nine of Pentacles is that card of being in your own resourcedness, right? Of knowing that everything you require is right there for you. And so if you know that, if you have that mastery in your back pocket, you will never have to succumb to the confusion of illusion, right? You just know that you're walking your journey, and as you walk your journey, every single thing is provided for you. Again, Mercury retrograde. Every retrograde is just about remapping your life. It's about reorganizing your journey. It's about being willing to reconfigure your journey at a moment's notice, right? It's you, the remix, every day. And you can choose that as as something terrible, as cataclysm, right? Or you can choose it as reconsecration, as resurrection, as new reverence. You have these options, right? It's up to you, really, how you witness the turning, right, of these cycles, because nothing ends without a beginning, right? Nothing ends without a beginning. And so you're holding on to what was prevents you from stepping in here, from getting this divine, beautiful, amazing gift that the universe wants to give you, from taking that fool's journey, knowing that every option is available to you, and you have the power and capability and capacity to understand how and why that works. Yeah. Number 43, man holding a coin. He looks a whole lot like the King of Pentacles to me, but let's check that out. Male connection in money, health, or value. Now remember, we talked about that Saturn-Uranus square as being the chance to reevaluate your values. So again, please be mindful that this square is again coming to perfection during this Mercury retrograde. So let's really, really pay attention. This card shows a man sitting in a lushly flowering field, holding a large, bright coin. For men, this could indicate an aspect of yourself and a readiness to further your goals and receive increased health, money, or value in life. Greater success is on the way when you take control of your own finances and act. Right? This card could also reveal the assistance of an advisor or healer whom you already know and are soon to meet. This man is helpful and may bring sage advice concerning the action you need to take next. Be open to this person showing up with support, but always turn your own intuitive guidance to weigh the information you receive. This could also signify a new love interest with a wealthy man or a man from work. Well, I don't think that's going to apply to everybody, but if it applies to you, then bravo. Most importantly, let's really concentrate on the fact that this is about your fully resourced journey, right? Something that you're not having to look back at in scarcity, in lack, right? You are able to redirect. You are able to receive. You're able to rebalance as long as you're willing to stop and assess And so here we have day by day, again, really kind of asking us to look at that Saturn-Uranus square, right? Saturn is what you do day by day, day by day. And as we have that trine to the sun in the north node, and as we have that square to Uranus, again, really talking about how you have an opportunity to create your habits, right, day by day, that will allow you to shape your will and destiny in any new way that you choose, creating this resourcedness, right? Uranus is in Taurus, remember. This is about feeling really resourced. And as Mercury conjuncts Venus, again, we're talking about brand new ways of creating your life as an expression, right? As a transformed expression of your feelings, right? That you will be inspired perhaps to communicate in brand new ways. Your ideas of what your life really of what you desire your life to really look like, how you want to live as love, in love, through love, what your sensory experience really looks like, and from the depths with that Moon-Pluto conjunction. And as we move through this cycle, remember that at the end you have that opportunity with that Venus-Neptune trine to really bring all of those octaves of love into expression, right? Expression being the key. So please take your time. Take your time through Mercury retrograde. Give yourself the elbow room, right? Day by day, give yourself the elbow room. Don't be caught up in the illusion. Don't be caught up in what you feel like you're losing. Instead, look at what you're gaining, right? Because here's the deal. What you're gaining is actually amazing if you're willing to claim your resources. Right? You might want to think about that. Good luck. We will talk several more times, but mostly we'll talk this week for the weekly What's Up. Other than that, big, giant blessings. Keep breathing, and do not let anybody tell you that you're screwed because of the universe. The universe never screws you. It gives you opportunities. What you do with them determines how you deal. Big blessings, guys.